Hello and welcome back everybody to the second installment of Tobi's Russian Tasting Adventures. Yeah, I renamed the show because I didn't only want to taste kvass, but I also did want to try other stuff like sweets and, I don't know, kefir or sweets and stuff like that, you know. So, but this time I first tried some more kvass. Last time I went into a supermarket and only bought like a German kvass. Or let's put it like this. It's not really German kvass, you know, because in Germany nobody drinks kvass. But it was produced in Germany, you know. So, this time I took real Russian kvass, imported Russian kvass. And it was indeed a bit more expensive. Not a lot, but a bit. So here you see Yachont Kvass. Sorry, I kind of forgot the name and I just had to look at the bottle. Yeah, this one was rather neutral for me. Oh, because before I forget it, sorry, before we actually talk about the Yachont Kvass, I was asked to buy certain stuff in the last video. And if the stuff you asked for is not in this video, like for example, someone asked me, I think for Roshin sweets from Ukraine or something like that. The thing is, when I didn't get it, then it's not available in the supermarket I went to. So that's the problem, and I apologize deeply for that. So back to the Yachont Kvass. Yeah, this one I think tasted rather neutral. I mean, you can taste the bread, obviously, and it's kvass. I guess you are supposed to taste the bread. But, you know, it was very light, the taste of bread. It was not as sweet as the German kvass, which is a positive in my book. But except for that, it tasted so neutral, nothing to remember about it, you know? There's nothing to remember about it. It's like, yeah, you can drink that, but if you haven't really missed out much. My personal opinion. So, the Yachont Kvass, yeah, you can drink it, but probably not my favorite of the ones I bought. Next up was Borodinsky Kvass. First of all, I have a question for you people. Is it like Borodinsky, like a kvass from Borodino? Like the famous place where the battle between Napoleon's troops and the Russian army took place? That would be actually interesting for me to know, but just on a side note, you know, it's not really like it matters. So, when I opened the bottle, there was already a good smell of bread. Like, I had with no kvass like that before. When I opened the other bottles, of course, when you took it close to your nose, it was like, yeah, it smells like bread. But when I opened this, it was like, whoa, that smells like bread. It's amazing. So when I tasted it, there was indeed this time actually a distinct and heavy flavor of bread. Like you really could taste the bread in this one. It was not as neutral as the Yachont one. So I really like this one here. I could actually drink a lot more of that than of the other one. So yeah. I don't know what to say about it much more than this. It taste was more intensive than the other one. So I'd rather take this than the Yachont one. Next up was Ochakovsky Kvass. So this was actually... it's hard to say it was my favorite. I really actually like the Borodinsky Kvass, but it's still my favorite. Before we actually talk about the taste, as you can see on the bottle, this is actually sold internationally. It's not like imported, well, it's still import. And I checked on the bottle, it's made in Russia, not anywhere else. But it's sold all over the place. And I don't think like Borodinsky Kvass is like as, well, it doesn't have an English text or a German text, which... Ochakovsky, yes, it's Ochakovsky, isn't it? Yeah, Kvass actually has. So is this like the biggest kvass in Russia? I obviously don't know. So if you know, please let me know. Taste-wise, I gotta say, it tasted different. Like Borodinsky Kvass is tasted a lot like I imagine Kvass to taste like. And it had a very heavy and very intense bread taste. Ochakovsky also tasted like bread, but it had something different. It was a little bit sweeter than a Borodinsky kvass. Not saying that it was actually sweet, because, it shouldn't be sweet, and it wasn't, but it wasn't as sour, I'd say. And it had something that made some kind of taste that made it special. It's hard to describe, but it was indeed my favorite of them all. I liked it a little bit better than Borodinsky kvass. Although, if I had to choose which kvass to show a person first, I'd rather show them Borodinsky kvass first, because I think that's probably more like kvass is supposed to taste, and Ochalovsky has something, some sort of own flavor going on. It's hard to describe, at least for me. So I really, really like that one. This is so far from all the kvass I tasted by far my favorite. Not by far, but it's my favorite. So these were all the Russian kvass I could get in the supermarket where I went last time. Next time I'll go to a different supermarket and see if they have a different kvass, and I'll bring them along. But next episode, you know what, I'll talk about what I taste next episode when I'm done, because now we'll get to the sweets I bought. So if you watched last episode, you know that I really, really like the batonchiki. Is it like that? I'm not too sure. Correct me if I pronounce stuff wrong or if I read stuff wrong. I do it all the time, and I'm trying my best. So I really like the sweets of Rotfront. And I found the same sweets but by a different corporation. So these one are called, and I'm not too sure if I read that correct, but the first one looks like a Z, and the second one I'm not too sure about. Is it an L? Is it like called Z? Well, I basically bought it because a little baby was on it, and that was the selling point for me. And I tasted it, and it tasted horrible. This was like the first thing I bought that really, really, really was bad. Like, actually bad. First of all, they were hard as stone. Hard as stone. It was hard to even bite into them. It was no fun. And then it tasted like nothing. I have no idea how you can make chocolate taste like nothing. But whoever created these... Amazing how you did that. It's amazing. It really tasted like nothing, and it was hard. I swear to God, I'll never buy these things again. I'll stay with Rotfront. And last but not least, we had Crème Brûlée by Alyonka. First of all, I gotta say, this child looks really disturbing. Like, the child looks at me like, if you don't gonna eat this Crème Brûlée sweet, I am going to eat you. Like, I'm not... In horror, I don't think children are the most scary things, but god damn it, this child, like, if this child appears in my dreams, I'm gonna die in my sleep, I swear to God. Like in German, we also have children on sweets, but usually they laugh and don't look at me like they want to eat me. That being said, although, yeah, it depends. Now that I think about it, there are actually some products with disturbing children, also in Germany. Oh well. Anyway, about the actual sweet. It was tasty. I really, really liked it. Like, I have no idea how crème brûlée is supposed to taste, because I never in my life have eaten crème brûlée. But it was tasty. Like, the inside was, of course, not hard, because it's crème brûlée. But the actual outside of the sweet was like massive chocolate, and then when you bite into it, there is a nice contrast between this massive chocolate and what is inside. So that was pretty cool. And in general, it was pretty tasty. If crème brûlée tastes like that, I've got to eat crème brûlée. Or I'll stick with the sweets, because they were really, really cheap. As mentioned, Russian sweets. Awesome how cheap they are. I totally should forever eat only Russian sweets. It's not only tasty, it's also better for my money. Alright, I think now I'm through with everything. So let's talk about what I'm going to do next time. Oh wait, first of all, if you have any suggestions, leave them down below. If I find them in any supermarket, I'll try them. The problem is, I don't think that everything that there exists in Eastern Europe is probably in Eastern European supermarkets. But if you have any suggestions, just leave it down below. And it doesn't need to be Russian. It's also okay if it's from some other country like Belarus, Ukraine, Latvia, Lithuania. I don't care, you know. So leave that down below if you have any suggestions. And if I can find them, I'll definitely try them. So yeah, next episode. I already bought some Russian beer. I was told in the comments that I don't need to try Russian beer because Russian beer is disgusting. I was told that by Russians here. I'm just repeating. And I bought some Russian beer anyway. And yeah, stay tuned for the Russian beer episode because I have a funny story. Because when I was in the supermarket, I suddenly remembered that I once drank Russian beer. And that is actually a good story. So stay tuned for that. So either next episode will be Russian beer, or it will be kefir and arak. You know arak? You probably don't. You probably know it as kumis. Is that correctly pronounced? Something like this? Yeah. So arak or arak, depending from where you are in Mongolia, I guess. I have Mongols both. I have heard both from Mongolians, you know. Like they say I when there is an AI and A. It probably really depends on the region, you know. But anyway, I have heard them say both, and Arak is a kumis. And it's also, it's similar to kefir. It's not exactly the same. I think the difference is that kefir is made with, from which animal is the milk from kefir? I know from kumis it's from horses, but I don't really know from kefir. Well, I'll see, I guess. So either beer or kefir and kumis. And some more sweets. Definitely some more sweets, because I love Russian sweets. So stay tuned for that. Thank you everybody for watching. As mentioned, suggestions and corrections in the comments down below. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye bye. By the way, did you enjoy seeing me in my pajama? I know you did.